Hi guys, Tax Pro here, and today we're going to talk about sending customer statements in Wave. So this is the Wave dashboard when you first log in. This is for that fake company ABC Corporation that we have here doing demos. So what is a statement and why do we send them? So statements are going to show customers either balances due or their activity for a specified time period. Okay, so we send statements to customers to request payment, to reflect credits, to show a particular activity. This is a regular part of doing business with customers that may have terms. And what that means is we've allowed a customer to pay after we provide a product or service or after we bill for it. We give them a specified amount of time in order to pay. So statements are extremely important. I have seen companies and worked with companies that have not sent out statements before. If you are not sending out statements to customers, you're not going to get paid. Okay, so statements are extremely important. I have stepped into companies and literally implementing a system where we send out statements has cut their receivables in half within a month. Okay, so you have to send out statements if you have customers that are carrying balances over. It's a great idea to help you reduce the amount of receivables that you are sitting on, okay? So let's talk about how we send these out. This is the dashboard here. We're gonna go under sales and payments. Here's the drop-down menu, and you'll see right here, there's customer statements. So we're gonna select customer statements. Now you're gonna wanna select a customer. So we're gonna select 7L products. Wave lets you create two different types of statements here. So you have outstanding invoice statements and you have account activity statements. I'm gonna show you how each of these works. So let's do the outstanding invoice statement. So 7L products has a couple of outstanding invoices with us, okay? I have one on here that's partially paid and one on here that has no payment at all. So I'm gonna show you what this looks like in all the parts, okay? This up here is our company name, ABC Corporation. If we had the address here, that information would be here, right? And then we have the bill to. So this is 7L products. They should have their address in here. Obviously, if this was a normal customer, you'd have all their information. Because this is a demo account, I haven't included all their info here. This is showing statement of account. So it's telling the customer, hey, this is a statement. And then it's doing outstanding invoices. So it's saying this is what you have for outstanding invoices. So it's showing that it's in United States dollar. This is the date as of November 1st of 2024. And it is showing the total amount that is overdue. Now it will also show the customer amounts that are not due yet, okay? And then it will add these two together to get your total outstanding balance. Now I don't have anything in here that is showing is not yet due. And so I wanna show you how this works. So we're gonna have the detail area right here, right? So this is the information that's really important for this client. So it's going to tell them you owe a total of $154,000 or $154,150. It's important though that we provide the detail to the customer on what particular invoices they owe, what amounts, etc. So what you'll notice is there's an invoice number here. There's an invoice date. There is a due date. These are marked as overdue because these payments should have been received by now. Now on invoice number 1, they did pay a portion of it. Okay, so the invoice, the initial amount was this $147,150. They did pay $40,000 worth. So it's going to show the amount due is the difference. Okay, so this is really important. It's not going to show them that the full invoice is still due. It's only going to show them the amount that is still due on the invoice, not the total amount of the invoice. Invoice number 3, they have not made a payment on. So it shows that full $47,000, okay? So this statement is the outstanding invoices statement, okay? More actions, you can print it, if you don't want to send the statement via email, or you can preview as the customer. So you can see what this is going to look like. So this is what the statement is going to look like for the customer. Okay? Let's go back to Wave. I want to show you the other type of statement that you can generate. So I'm going to show you the account activity statement. I'm just going to show you the account activity statement for this whole year. So when you do an account activity statement, you need to make sure that the account activity statement is, oh, sorry, it won't let me go there because we're not on that date. You want to make sure that you select the time period the full time period that you need, okay? So when we look at account activity, we are actually looking at all the activity on that client's account, even invoices that have already been paid in full. Okay, so we're going to select the whole time period, and then we're going to do create statement. So let's kind of look to see how this is different. We still have our information and the client's information. It's going to have a statement of account, so it's still showing that it's a statement. This is showing account activity though. And you're going to notice that it tells you the date from, so January 1st to November 1st, okay? It's going to give you an opening balance. So you may have some customers that carry balances over from another period. So for example, if 7L had invoices in 2023 and they had a balance on those invoices, and they maybe didn't pay them until 2024, they have not paid them, there would be an opening balance on here, right? This client does not have an opening balance. So this is going to show the total amount invoiced and the total amount paid. Also is going to show the total amount refunded and then the closing balance. So this right here is the amount showing on the account that is owed. Okay? So I'm going to show you what this looks like. This is a lot more detail. So this is going to show us on July 1st, they had a charge on their account. It's invoice number 4, and it was for $54,500. Okay? So now we're seeing the balance is $54,500. They paid it 10 days later, and they paid it in full. So they have this $54,500. The parentheses here mean minus. Okay, so this is reducing the balance owed on their account. Whenever you see parentheses in accounting, it means a negative number. So this has brought their account balance back down to 0. Okay, then as August 13th, they had invoice number 1. It's $147,150. This is the balance due, right? Because they had a $0 balance and then they added more. Then there was a payment made, but the payment was only partial. So notice that this payment is referencing invoice number 1. This payment up here referenced invoice number 4. Okay? There's $40,000 payment. So this is their new balance. It's this less the $40,000. Again, the $40,000 is in parentheses because it's negative. And then here we have another invoice, invoice number 3. It's $47,000 and it has $154,150. So one thing I want to point out is this particular statement, so this account activity statement does not show balances on specific invoices that are still open. Okay, it is going to show all the activity, so the invoices and the payments. If you have a customer that does a lot of activity within a certain time period, like maybe they have multiple invoices, multiple payments, maybe they're doing partial payments everywhere, it can be extremely confusing for the customer to understand what invoices are still open. Okay, so you may need to issue an account activity statement and this outstanding invoice statement to the same client because they may not understand what their balance is composed of. Okay, so let me kind of go back through really quick and provide you a quick summary. So if I want to look at statements, and remember, statements are things that we're going to send to customers either to show the activity on their account or to show the amounts that they owe us. So if I'm going to generate statements, I'm going to go under sales and payments over here on the left-hand side. I'm going to come to customer statements. From here, I can select my customer, and then I can select 2 different types of statements. I can select outstanding invoices or account activity. Outstanding invoices are going to list each invoice that still is showing as having a balance due against that invoice, okay? So it's going to show me all of those invoices that have a balance due at this particular period in time. Account activity, on the other hand, is going to show me all of the activity on the account for a specific time period. Okay, so now let me scroll back down real quick and I'll show you the account activity one more time, and then we'll look at the outstanding invoice statement so you can see the difference. So here I am showing invoice number 4 activity. I'm showing the payment on invoice number 4. I'm showing invoice number 1, a payment on invoice number 1, and I'm showing invoice number 3. Okay, total closing balance is this 154,150. Whereas if I go through and I do outstanding invoices, it doesn't give me any information about invoice number 4 because invoice number 4 has already been paid in full. So it's going to show me information about invoice number 1 and invoice number 3. Even though invoice number 1 has had a payment applied against it, it still has a balance due on the invoice, so it's still going to show up on here. It's just the balance due is not the full amount. Invoice number 3 has had no payments and it still has an open amount, so that's why it's on here. Okay, and then you can just click this nice send statement, and Wave will help you send the statement to your customer. So that's how we generate statements in Wave. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next time.